we played it out obviously because it was our first battle report. We don't want to stop it at this turn.
Well, there was a point too where it was concerning if your horrors were able to do enough, we'll see later, damage to the guys in the tower, then there was a chance for you to get in there and just pull off the victory.
Right. Yeah. If I had taken the tower, I think I would have been safe. I think we're pretty safe saying that I would have won the game.
But
it would have been very, very hard for you to get in there and do enough.
Yeah, I was not in position to counter that at all.
But, in my turn, I charge into that building, and with my horrors and my fiend, who was free from the combat with the hell cannon, came over to charge the level 4. You got off a lucky, what did he get, a 19 on his roll? Something like that. I guess it wasn't that lucky, but it was just enough to get into the level 4's rear.
And in retrospect, I probably should have fled. It's a bad idea to be in combat with a fiend when you're just a lone character. I guess I was just going for a gamble there.
Well, yeah, especially a bad idea if you fail your fear check, which was nice. It was the only failed fear check of the game,
yeah.
And I was definitely feeling good about that. But my fiend was unable to do any wounds and took a wound back, so I only won the combat by 1. So you're on a re-rollable, 7?
Yeah, the BSB was just close enough at that point.
So your level 4 doesn't go anywhere. My horrors in the magic phase, I kind of skipped this, were able to get the 2d6 strength 4s off to any unit that's in base-to-base with them.
And I finally failed to dispel it, so probably with 3 1s, a 2, and a 3 on 5 dice. So that went through, finally.
I didn't have anything to heal up. Oh, yeah, that's not true. I used my healing to take a wound off my flamers who had suffered 1 earlier in the game. Not fucking sure how.
I don't remember that.
Anyways, my horrors in the building were able to get 2 wounds on you, of which you saved both. Again, I was just overly hopeful with my troops against siege warriors in a building. You came back and killed, 5 or 6, something like that. Took a whole rank off. Of course, I broke and got pushed back an inch. Again, it's in my mind, I'm just thinking there's no way I can take this building from him in time. I would need literally infinite turns in which you had no units. And the combat with the demonettes, they lost combat, obviously, and they'd already blown their stubborn, and I had left the Herald and the last model left in the unit, and I made my break test and failed it by just enough to kill both of them, unfortunately. If I would have been able to have them hold off one more turn, it really wouldn't have affected the game, but I would have felt a little better about myself, which I think is the important thing.
So then that was my turn, bottom of turn 4 for me, which I pushed the knights into the horrors to clear them out of there. Obviously they weren't in combat with the warriors anymore, they got pushed back. My warriors reformed, the Khorne warriors reformed to try to assist the sorcerer if he needed it. And then it was off to the magic phase, which I got 10 dice, which I withered the fiend, which is the reduction of toughness. I got him down by 3, which removed all my concern there. I did the penumbral pendulum on the flamers. He fails all 3 initiative rolls and loses only 3 wounds, though. So he got away a little bit with that one. In combat, my sorcerer finished off the withered fiend. The knights ended up killing 5 more horrors, and I lost none back, of course. It's just not really in his favor. But he was able to pass his stubborn. And we rolled for the end of the game, and we had 1 extra turn to go. Well, we didn't know how many turns we had left to go, but there was only 1 left to really do.
At this point, again, we're just playing to finish off the game. I charged my Nurglings at his level 4, not because I think I can kill him, but because I'm hopeful to do 1 wound so I can feel better about myself. I had the Flamers charge the rear of the Knights just to try to do something before the end of the game, a little bit of a moral victory. And in that combat phase, unfortunately, I lost by so much that I lost both my horrors and my flamers, not to being attacked, but to combat res. Would you kill 6 horrors?
5 or 6
5
horrors.
or 6.
Your flamers did a lot of wounds, but I passed all my armor saves again.
Yeah, and I rolled boxcars for my flamers, removing them, which was just enough wounds to remove them, by the way. And I rolled a 10 on my break test on my horrors, which was enough to kill everybody except for the herald, who was left on still 2 wounds. And in the final turn, you're able to kill him with some combat res.
Yeah, you rolled spectacularly bad for the combat res with your horrors and flamers. I think you rolled a 10 and a 12 for each of them, which just wiped them off the board. However, I think we skipped over your magic phase where you got 10 dice and you rolled dwellers up. I let it pass. You were going to use it on the Zench warriors in the tower, and I let it pass. I figured I'm strength 4. I should have enough to stick around and be okay, and dispel other spells that you might be trying to cast that's going to swing it in your favor before the combat had ended. And you actually managed to get rid of 4 warriors out of the unit, and I almost failed my panic test out of the tower. So that would have been a tremendous swing in your favor. But fortunately, I passed them both, so I was still there.
Oh, forgot the best part. The Nurgling beat the level 4 and got him to run away. Unfortunately, he rolled an 11 on his runaway roll, and I rolled a 3 to pursue, so I wasn't able to catch him. And of course, he rallied the next turn. The rest of the game, we don't even need to really talk about too much. My lone level 2, of course, died to the knights. And my Nurglings would have died had the Khorne warriors attacked them, but I specifically requested that he leave me with 1 model. This is a big win to Darren. He wins the Bragging Rights trophy, which every episode is a golden model. Usually it's going to be infantry, I think, because it has to come out of my unused models box.
I'm going to pawn it.
Yeah. Today we've got this golden Chaos Warrior, which Darren actually based up himself so it would match the rest of his army.
Yeah, just don't look at it too closely.
Yeah. We had a golden skink up for an award, but we're going to save that for another time when we're playing against someone who can use a 20 millimeter model, because you've got no use for 20 millimeters playing Chaos.
It could be a Chaos Dwarf.
Yeah, actually, I didn't think of that. Maybe I should have given it to you. I think we'll save this one for next game. So, in retrospect, I played the game wrong, and I had a suboptimal list, hoping next game that we play, which would, for you guys, is going to be a week from now. I'm hoping next game to give a little more of a fight and have it be a little less one-sided.
Yeah, my list was definitely geared towards 8th, and I really wouldn't change what I have now, and I rolled really well. You rolled piss poor, so I mean it could have been a lot closer than it really was, but I'm happy I won at least.
Yeah, well, even without the dice rolling, I feel like just given the 8th rules, this scenario in particular really feels like just a dice rolling scenario. The only objective is to get that center tower, and you can only put 1 unit up against a tower at a time. So it's just you take your nastiest unit of 10 models that can attack at a time, whatever the nastiest is, and put them up against that tower and hope to dislodge the enemy. And I'm not a big fan. I was at first because I was thinking, you just you design your list knowing what the scenario is going to be, kind of like in 40K. You know what the missions are. You know there's going to be a kill points mission, so you make sure your army isn't too crazy on kill points.
I don't mind the mission so much, but
yeah, you have Siege Warriors with a plastic standard.
Right. I mean, coming from the other end, maybe if it was like 20 Dwarf Warriors in there that I was playing against, it might have been equally nasty. But the demons don't have all the tools either to deal with something in a tower like a...
Well, my demons don't.
Yeah. An artillery piece would go a long way to dislodging Zench Warriors, something that's, ignoring those saves and removing the parry. So your list really wasn't geared towards that. So I mean, it may be, hopefully we'll see from tournament organizers some really creative missions now that there's a lot more to kind of feast your army upon. So I like that this is out of the ordinary kind of mission.
Yeah, I guess I do agree. Like I said, in 40K, you have to go in knowing that there could be a kill points mission. There could be a mission where there's just 2 objectives. There's going to be Dawn of War, stuff like that. That really doesn't favor some armies, and you just have to go in there knowing that, and you have to design your list knowing that you're going to play these missions. And I do like the fact that you go into a GT, there's probably going to be a watchtower scenario.
Yeah, personally, I mean, maybe some people won't like this so much, but just leave the rules alone as much as you can for 6 months, and then we can kind of go back and look at it and say maybe we should tweak something here or there and change the comp or whatever it might be.
It's kind of funny that I've been so against Mystery Train since the book came out, or actually since a month before the book came out when I got my copy of it. But now that we've had it, all I want is more, because I want to use those tokens I made, which are probably not going to have much use. I guess every game I'll get 2 or 3 times to roll them. I'll have to keep playing.
It can be really random. I mean, Mystery Terrain has some really interesting implications to the battlefield, so maybe we'll see more of that in future battle reports.